Hi, welcome to iBelay Plus. I would like to show you about invoicing and expenses. Besides our automated scheduled rental invoices, you are allowed to create additional invoices to your tenant. For instance, you can create invoice to bill your tenant for utility charges or any damages caused by them. To get started, go to the tenancy of the tenant that you want to bill to. On the top here, click Invoice tab. Over here, you can see all the invoices issued before, including monthly rental invoices issued automatically. You can also see the payment status for each invoice. We have summed up the total for you for your quick analysis. To create invoice, click this Add Invoice button. Verify tenant's name. Set your invoice date. And jot down here if any remark. Click Add Item button to your invoice. Select item from the list. Set the quantity and unit price as well as description. And click Save. You can add more than one item and repeat the process. If you want to delete the item, you can click this button and the invoice will be deleted. Once confirmed, click Save to generate the invoice. Once the invoice is generated, the invoice will first be in draft status. Please change to Confirm and Save. Now the invoice is visible to tenant, and tenant can make payment accordingly via payment gateway. Besides creating invoice from tenancy, you can also go to Accounting, select Invoice, click this Add New Invoice button. All the processes are the same except the action that you need to select the tenant to bill the invoice to. Besides the normal invoice billing, you can also use our system to bill tenants for the deposits by using this method. Now the tenant is allowed to pay the deposit using debit or credit card. You can also reduce cash transactions and tenants have more options to make deposit payments. Deposit billing processes are the same as normal billing, but when you are selecting items, select from the preset deposit item. A proper deposit billing enables you to have a better management of your financial status. Let's dive deeper into the invoice. Our system helps you to manage payment status as well as invoice status. Over here, you can filter the payment status. Payment status includes coming due, overdue, paid, and voided. You can update payment to the invoice if the tenant makes payment to you via bank transfer or cash. But if the tenant makes payment via payment gateway, the system will update the status automatically and you don't need to do anything. And for whatever reason, you can also void the invoice, but no worries, this step is reversible. Let's go into action on how to do it. Let's start from tenancy perspective. Go into any tenancy. Click on the Invoice tab. Over here, the status. Now you see all the invoices. So if you want to void the invoice, select any invoice that you want to update the status. Click on the invoice number. Click the drop-down list, select Voided, then click Save. And this invoice has been successfully voided. And this step is reversible. Once the invoice is voided, the invoice will be moved to Voided tab. Go back to Invoice, Filter, Voided, and you can see the invoice has been voided. To revert back, click the invoice, change the status to Confirm, and click Save to update any payment made via bank transfer or cash. Click on the button Make Payment. On this pop-up window, select the payment date, enter any reference number. Optionally, you can upload any receipt, then click Save. Now the invoice is updated and the payment status is now changed to paid. Besides that, the system will automatically issue receipts. It helps saving your time. Tenant will be able to download invoice and receipt whenever they need it. All the information is digitally secured on our cloud system powered by Amazon Web Service. If you have made any mistake when you update the invoice and you wish to revert the payment, you can scroll down, click this revert payment button, and you need to enter remarks to explain why you want to revert the payment. And click submit. So this invoice payment has been successfully reverted. For your information, this action can only be done when you update the invoice manually. You can also access all the invoices from the invoice section. Go to the side menu, click accounting, select invoice. Over here, you can view all the invoices issued for different tenancies. You can filter the invoice payment status by clicking the drop-down list here. And to update the payment status, select any invoice by clicking the invoice number and repeat the same processes. Now, I would like to introduce our expenses feature. By using this feature, you are allowed to register and to record any expenses incurred. You have two options. You can register the expenses to the unit, or you can register it to the room. This allows you to have a better property performance analysis in the future, so you are able to know which unit as a whole generates better ROI to your investment or which room costs you the most. For example, expenses like electricity bill, insurance shall be registered to the unit. On the other hand, expenses like aircon service and maintenance shall be registered to the room associated with that aircon. Let's get started. First, go to the unit or room. For this example, let us register expenses to the room. So click these three dots, click Add Expense. You will be directed to this page. Over here, you can start to create your expenses. Select supplier, or you can go to people and add vendor first. Click Add Item. Select Item. Select Quantity. Select Unit Price. The description. Click Save. Expenses is registered and recorded to the associated room.